Thank you for joining us today for the Soul Essence Empowerment Day 5. We are on day 5 of our 40-day journey to greater mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Yes, we are on day 5. Okay, and so before we get started, I would like to open up with prayer as usual. Oh, Most High Yahuwah, I thank you for gathering us here, Yahuwah, today in your presence, Yahuwah. We are here, Yahuwah, to learn, to experience your truth, to walk in it, Yahuwah. I thank you, O Most High, Yahuwah Elohim, that you will lead and guide us into all truth, Yahuwah, even as your word is truth, Yahuwah. I thank you, O Most High, that the meditation of my mouth and that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart and mind are acceptable in thy sight, O Yahuwah. You are our strength and our redeemer, Yahuwah. You are a strong tower, Yahuwah. And the righteous runs to you and is safe, O Yah. I thank you, O Most High Yah, for this day that we get to come together and we learn, Yahuwah. I thank you, O, as every hearer listens, Yahuwah, to the word and the instruction that is given today, Yahuwah, that they also become doers of the word and the instruction that is given today, as well as your word, your will, your way, and the Torah, Yahuwah. I thank you, O Most High Yah. All right, and so since we have began with prayer, what I want us to do now is begin to prepare to focus our minds and our hearts on receiving the word that is coming forth today, all right? We are on day 5, and as we stated before, just in case there's someone new on, we have 40 days in which we will focus on fasting from toxic situations, toxic character traits. We're going to be ridding ourselves of things that hold us back and prohibit us from walking in the fullness of Yah and from maximizing our potential and being the person that Yahuwah created us to be, which is our authentic self, who we were created to be when Yahuwah made us in his image and his likeness, all right? And so I want us to get prepared. Everyone get out any notes that any note-taking tools that you may have so that you can take notes. Also, keep in mind that as we share this PowerPoint, I will be adding to the discussion with my words. So there are some things that are not on the PowerPoint, but I just wanted to keep everyone in mind to be in a receptive mode, to be ready to receive what it is that you will receive from this workshop today. All right, and we'll take a moment. I'll allow you guys a few seconds to get ready and prepared. On this marvelous show, have your way on this marvelous show, have your way on this marvelous show that you have made. Allah, Yahuwah, Almighty One reigns. Hallelujah. Allah, Yah, Halal, shine, Yahuwah, Halal, Yahuwah, Barak, Yahuwah. Your name is great and greatly to be exalted in all of creation. You are, and we are because of you. Halal, Yahuwah. We thank you. All right. So we had a few minutes to grab note-taking tools, and we will begin on this day 5 of our 40-day journey. And just so everyone knows, we go Monday through Friday with this particular workshop, and it cycles around every 40 days. So we are on day 5. Okay, and so once we complete over the next 35 days, which we meet Monday through Friday only, not on the weekends, and once we cycle back to the beginning, we'll start at 1 again. All right, so feel free to go ahead and join us where you are with what you have. Feel free to stay tuned in from this day 5 through day 40 and then start over from day 1 to 5 if you want. I personally get something new every time I facilitate this particular workshop. All right. So I encourage everyone to actively participate. Okay. Truth is very important. We want to be accountable, right? We want to walk in truth with ourselves. We have to be honest and take an honest inventory when we are participating in this workshop. All right. This is for our benefit, because in order to reject something out of our lives, in order to cast something away from our lives, we must first know what the thing is that we're casting, right? We can't fight an enemy unless we know who the enemy is, right? So we have to be honest, right? This is not to bring any condemnation upon anyone. This is all for the effects and purposes of us journeying to greater mental, emotional, and spiritual health. All right, so I want to get started. Okay. And so as we start on this day 5's journey, please remember a couple of things. All right. We will go over what we talked about yesterday. For those of you who were not a part of the class on yesterday. But before I get started with the actual slide, I want to examine a few things. First, we're going to talk about faith, all right? Because in order for us to practice the characteristic of today, which is patience, we have to understand that we have to loose impatience. We have to loose things that hinder our ability to be patient. Right? In fasting, we deny ourselves of things, but in this particular aspect for this workshop of fasting, we are going to deny ourselves of things that are holding us back, things that are keeping us from being in divine alignment with the Most High Yahuwah. So, Martin Luther King Jr. had a quote which says, "Faith is taking up the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." All right? So releasing things and trusting that we are going to accomplish the goal in which we have set out as we're releasing them, because we know that they're hindering us. These things that we may be holding on to are not things that help us, all right? And the goal is that at the end of this 40-day journey, Yahuwah is going to send a new you out into a new place. Not just the same old you with a few add-ons. That would be like gluing a pair of caterpillar wings to a caterpillar, right? We know that's not going to work. We can't glue butterfly wings on a caterpillar. That caterpillar has to take metamorphosis and begin to change. And so in order for each of us to make a metamorphosis into a beautiful winged butterfly capable of taking flight, we will each have to develop extraordinary faith and patience. This is why cultivating the life of our soul is so very important. We know that the soul is the mind, will, and emotions. And we understand that why these things are among the key, these 40 characteristics that we're going to be looking at are among the key characteristics that carry power to help us accomplish that goal. Now, the number 40 can be expressed as 5 times 8. 8 represents new beginnings. And 5 is the number of grace. 40 empowers you with the grace that you need to step out and take firm hold of your future. It will expand your capacity to see beyond your present limitations and to focus on the promise of future possibilities. Your divine self has a divine destiny that is orchestrated by Yahuwah. He has called and anointed you to step forward, to be strong and courageous. According to Joshua 1:9, right? To be strong and courageous. We are called to be strong and courageous and to take possession of all that the Most High Yah has prepared for us. Paul told the Ephesians in Ephesians 5:14, "Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Yahusha shall shine, make day dawn upon you, and give you light." In other words, you need to wake up and see the light about who Yahuwah has called you to be in the Hamashiach, all right? The greatness that Yahuwah has seated in you with his own spirit. The power that we wield because of that spirit working in and through each and every one of us. We don't have to be like a walking dead person waking up from a coma that we're in and start living and impacting the world around us. We must wake up from that coma. We have to start living and impacting the world around us. It might not feel like it because some people are not yet fully awake. Everyone is awakening. This is the great awakening, right? So perhaps some may be still drowsy from disappointments or distractions, but we are destined for greatness. Each of us that the Most High Yah has chosen, has called to be set apart, holy and acceptable for his use. Champions such as Abraham, Joseph, Moses, Joshua, and David were all destiny-minded. They saw past their situations and limitations to what was possible with Yahuwah's grace and anointing. Now, further into this, I would like to say that further into this workshop, I will utilize all terms and names as their Hebrew names and Hebrew terms, all right? But I want to get everybody acclimated because I understand that some of you are not Hebrew who are taking this particular workshop. So I wanted to meet everyone where they are with what they have so that we can develop a foundation of understanding in truth, all right? But we know all of the stories that we read in the scriptures where the great men and women of Yahuwah saw past their situations and limitations to see exactly what it was that was possible with Yahuwah's grace and anointing. It is not by chance that we have those history books. We too must choose to focus our potential in Yahusha through Yahuwah, rather than our position on earth, and march aggressively on towards the destiny that Yahuwah has called us to. Each one of us have a destiny that Yahuwah has called us to, and we must march aggressively towards that. Even though, be patient, don't be super aggressive with people. That's not what I mean. When I say march aggressively, I mean be persistent. Don't be like others who Yahuwah anointed and blessed, but they refuse to be loosed. We have to shake ourselves free from everything that binds us and holds us back. And that's what this 40-day workshop is for. All right. The Torah and the scriptures use the word loose throughout both the Old and the New Testament to indicate someone who has been set free from their former life and sent out, so to speak, to accomplish an ordained mission or a goal. In the case of Ephraim, however, we read about the situation where there was a refusal to move out when the time came. In Hosea 13:13, when birth pains signaled it was time to be born, Ephraim was too stupid to come out of the womb. When the passage into life opened up, he didn't show. Instead, when the time is fulfilled and the due date comes, we need to be ready and to pursue Yahuwah's leading through prayer, as David did, and allow Yahuwah to lead us to a glorious destiny. We are victorious. I am victorious. Say that. I am victorious. Noah had to endure 40 days and nights of rain, but he was launched into a fresh new start with Yahuwah's blessing and his command to lavish life on the earth. At the end of the 40 days in which Yahusha was in the desert, he was loosed to return to Galilee, where news spread quickly of his exploits. And in Matthew 4:23 through 24, we see where it says, "From there, he went all over Galilee. He used synagogues for meeting places and taught people the truth of Yahuwah." Yahuwah's kingdom was his theme, not religion. He was teaching Yahuwah's kingdom. And it says Yahuwah's kingdom was his theme, that beginning right now, they were under Yahuwah's government, a good government. He also healed people of their diseases and of the bad effects of their bad lives. Word got around the entire Roman province of Syria. People brought anybody with an ailment, whether mental, emotional, or physical, and Yahusha healed them one and all. Now, the first thing that we understand, just as Yahusha even told everyone, it was his Father that was working through him. That's the same way we need to be. We need to be open, ready, and receptive enough to allow Yahuwah to work through us, just as Yahusha did, okay? God's blessing is on your life and it can't be hidden. He set you on a lampstand to expel the darkness in the world where you were created, gifted, and anointed to make a difference. That's the amazing picture that we see painted by the prophet Zechariah as he told of a time when other nations would see the blessings of Yahuwah on his people. In Zechariah 8:21 through 23, it reads, "The leaders will confer with one another. Shouldn't we try to get in on this? Get in on Yahuwah's blessings. Pray to Yahuwah of the angel armies. What's keeping us? Let's go." Lots of people, powerful nations, they'll come to Jerusalem looking for what they can get from Yahuwah of the angel armies, looking to get a blessing from Yahuwah, a message from Yahuwah of the angel armies. At that time, 10 men speaking a variety of languages will grab the sleeve of one Jew, hold tight, and say, "Let us go with you. We've heard that Yahuwah is with you." Now, the first thing that we must understand, Jew, right? That J was not there. Yahuwah, right? The house of Yehuda, right? Okay. That's us, right? Yahuwah is with us. Yahuwah does not leave us nor forsake us. Sometimes we will leave, get off track, allow other things to separate us from the love of the Most High Yah because we are distracted. Yahuwah never left us, all right? And he's waiting on each of us to come back. So we have to draw back when destiny calls. Take firm hold of what Yahuwah has called us to do in faith. Believe what Yahuwah says about each and every one of us, and determine in our hearts to be among those whom people will grab a hold onto, saying, "Let us go with you." You are from the tribe of Judah, right? Jews from the tribe of Judah, okay? Let us go with you. We have heard that Yahuwah is with you. Ordinary riches can be stolen. Real riches cannot. In your soul are infinitely precious things that cannot be taken away from you. Oscar Wilde told us this exact quote. Yesterday, we talked about commitment, all right? Now, once you have committed to an endeavor, you will need the patience to see it through to its completion. And so our characteristic for day 5 is patience. Now, I want us to understand loosing again, like I said, is important because we have to let go of the things that hold us back. We have to get rid of everything that is in the way, everything that is not like us, everything that is blocking what the Most High has called us to do and be, okay? We need to wake up and see the light about who Yahuwah has called us to be in Yahusha. The greatness that Yah has seeded in us with his own spirit, the power that we wield because of that spirit working in and through us. We don't want to be like the walking dead person. We wake up from the comas that we are in, and we are to start living and impacting the world around us. Now, the first scripture that we are going to look at today is Romans 5:3-4. We continue to shout our praise even when we're hemmed in with troubles, because we know how troubles can develop passionate patience within us, and how that patience in turn forges the tempered steel of virtue, keeping us alert for whatever Yah will do next, right? We know that character comes in the times in which we are experiencing things that are challenging, that we may deem is challenging. However, we know that patience will refine and perfect us, right? We know that patience will refine and protect us. Now, we talked about commitment yesterday. Once we've committed to an endeavor, we will need patience to see it through to completion. Patience will refine and perfect us. Like I said, patience is a discipline that we must practice if we want to break free from the myriad of things that can plague and pollute our souls. All right. Impatience is one of those things that will cause all sorts of emotional and relational problems, such as losing our temper and saying things that we will regret later on, causing us to become agitated, anxious, stressed, frustrated, or angry, flustered, and so on. Now, without patience, we won't be able to cultivate other important characteristics such as self-control, compassion, faithfulness, mercy, and love. Impatience causes us to get out of step with the spirit of the Most High Yahuwah. It causes us to get out of alignment. And we should always want to remain under and in divine alignment with the Most High Yahuwah, who leads us and whose lead we are to closely follow. There's a compelling story that I read once that demonstrates the value of power and patience. This story is about a very unique plant, the Chinese bamboo, right? So when bamboo was planted, watered, and nurtured throughout the growing season, it does not outwardly develop at all. Not a bud or a sprout appears. It takes 5 consecutive years of cultivation before even the slightest sign of growth is visible. And then in the 5th year, something incredible happens. Within a 6-week period, it grows up to be 60 feet tall. For 5 years, the bamboo seed silently develops underground, expanding its root system in order to make it strong enough to sustain the sudden growth that ultimately takes place in the 5th year. Had the tree failed to build a strong underground foundation, it would be impossible for it to all of a sudden reach its full potential when it comes time to push its way through the soil into the outside world. Now, this story illustrates the vital importance of patience in developing the character that is necessary to persevere and push through. Like the bamboo, living true to yourself and your greatest potential takes patience and perseverance. People may not immediately see growth in you, but that's okay, because with the help of Yahuwah, you will emerge as the great soul and admirable person you were created to be, your authentic self. That is who Yahuwah created you to be. Now, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said, "The heights by great men, reached and kept, are not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, toiled over upward through the night." They kept going every night, putting a little step forward, a little step forward, a little more progress, a little more progress. When suddenly, boom, they reached their goals, and those who were sleeping, to them, it seemed like it happened overnight. Growth is a process and does not happen overnight. You must be steadfast and unshakable in your faith. You must be steadfast and unshakable in your faith. Okay? Faith is not simply a patience that passively suffers until the storm is past. Rather, it is a spirit that bears all things with resignations, yes, but above all, with blazing serene confidence that the Most High Yah is working. And it doesn't matter what you see around you. We know that all things work together for the good of each and every one of us. We know that we can have a sure confidence in Yah, that faith the faith that keeps us even when we can't see things around us. It keeps us standing firm in and knowing the truth and standing in that confidence of Yah, because we know that Yah will do it. We know all of the great things that Yahuwah has done before for other people as well as ourselves. And we know that same Alua, that same Elohim is working for us and in us in all situations. And even those things that were supposed to be for our bad can be utilized for our good and will be utilized for our good. So whatever you are believing Yahuwah for, continue to trust and pray and wait. Time is never wasted when you wait upon Yahuwah. As Paul wrote the Romans in Romans 8:25, it says, we are enlarged in the waiting. We, of course, don't see what is enlarging us, but the longer we wait, the larger we become. And as James encouraged his readers, let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. All right. Yahuwah is our shepherd. We lack nothing. But at times we must be still and know that he is Yahuwah, our Lua, our Elohim. He is Yahuwah, our Alua, our Elohim, right? So times we must be still and know that he is in charge. He is in control. He has this. Of course, we pray and we meditate and we do our part while we wait, but we don't get out of sorts. We don't get impatient. We allow patience to have its perfect work, that we may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. Yahusha said that it is only by exercising patience that you will learn to possess your soul. Okay. And we'll look again at Luke 21:19. I want us to really take the time and examine ourselves honestly with this inventory, right? As we're doing an interest inventory on ourselves, and we are honestly understanding what it is that we need to change, what it is that triggers impatience, what it is that we need to be getting rid of, what it is that we can be doing that will help us to become better. Remember Luke 21:19. Yahusha said that it is only by exercising patience that we will learn to possess our souls. Luke 21:19. So as we draw closer to our authentic selves, which again, our authentic selves is not the angry, hateful people that we sometimes become because of what has happened to us. Our authentic selves is who Yahuwah made. When in Jeremiah 1:5, like it says, before you were born, I set you apart. Yahuwah told us that before he formed us in our mother's womb, he knew us. So that's our authentic self, who the Most High Yah has created us to be. And as we draw closer to our authentic selves, we must learn to take possession of our souls by mastering the art of patience. Hebrews 10:36 tells us that developing patience is key to growing into our authentic self and fulfilling our best destinies. For Hebrews 10:36 says, for you have need of a steadfast patience and endurance, so that you may perform and fully accomplish the will of Yah. All right. That's why we must develop patience, because it's key into growing into our authentic self and fulfilling our best destiny. Again, I reiterate Hebrews 10:36, for you have need of steadfast patience and endurance, so that you may perform and fully accomplish the will of Yah. It doesn't say you might perform. It says that you will perform and fully accomplish the will of Yah. Okay. So remember that when we're thinking about patience, let's remember. All right. All right. Now, this brings us to the conclusion of our class time today, because I do want to allow everyone the opportunity to do their journaling portion. All right. Now, I have you schedule out an hour of time so that your first portion of time can come from listening, while we listen and meditate on the word. And then the next portion comes your participation, which is actually journaling about what we have learned here today in a way that you may be able to implement, not only being a hearer of the word, but being a doer of the word also, right? Because that's what we are called to do. We are hearing these things so that we can do them. We are learning these things and growing. We are going through these experiences so that we can implement the good characteristics that come from, so that we can implement our knowledge and exercise our wisdom, okay? All right, so in conclusion, impatience causes all sorts of emotional and relational problems, such as losing our temper and saying things that we will later regret, becoming agitated, anxious, stressed, frustrated, angry, flustered, and so on. I'm pretty sure every one of us has experienced at least one of those things where we may have been that thing or felt that emotion and took it out, projected it on someone around us, okay? Without patience, this is why patience is so important, because without patience, we will not be able to cultivate other important characteristics such as our self-control, our compassion, our faithfulness, mercy, and love, amongst other things. Impatience causes us to get out of step with the spirit of Yahuwah, whose lead we are to closely follow. Henry David Thoreau says a quote which says, "If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life with which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours." Advancement, confidence, going in the direction of the life of your dreams and endeavors, right? And in order to do so, we have to release, loose, let go of everything that is getting in the way of doing that. If it's getting in the way of our advancement, whether it's something that someone else is causing, somewhere we're going, friendships, or even our own errors, okay? Because sometimes we have to admit that we can be the problem in situations. It's not all, it's never a victimized mindset that we should take on, because we are victorious. We are more than conquerors. So victimization is one of those things that we should kind of leave and let go. Well, granted, yes, certain things do happen to people out of no results of their own doing, and that's very unfortunate. But I'm not speaking on those things. I'm speaking on the fact that after that thing has happened, are you choosing to overcome it? Or are you still allowing it to cause problems in your life? As I've stated so many times before, that gives too much power to another person to allow something that they did to you with the intentions of hurting you to absolutely cause hurt and cause you to digress in life, as opposed to overcoming that thing and showing them that they don't hold power over you. Or overcoming our faults and our flaws and showing ourselves that we are in a line, we are greater than anyone could have ever imagined, all right? We are in alignment with the Most High Yahuwah, and we are living the lives of our dreams. That is our goal. So we advance confidently in the direction of our dreams and endeavors, and we focus on our patience today, all right? Now, our action steps for journaling, because again, I want you to take time to think about and to do some introspection on how we can improve in these areas, how we can take on the characteristic of patience and cast out and reject any impatience that we may exhibit, all right? So, action step number 1, what typically causes you to lose your patience? Think about that for a minute. What causes you to lose your patience? When you're journaling, write it down, write about it. How can you change your perspective to tap into the power of patience? All right. How can you look at these things or situations? How can you look at your triggers? Everybody likes that word, right? Triggers. How can you look at your triggers differently so that you can tap into the power of patience as opposed to being impatient? Because impatience only stifles you. Wow, yes, it may cause you to get angry or aggravated with someone, but it causes you more of an issue than it causes that person. Thirdly, we're going to visualize ourselves exercising patient restraint. The next time that we want to react otherwise, what does that look like? Think of the situations in which you have projected impatience on someone. Correct it. How could you have changed it? How could you exercise more patience in that situation, even if that situation or that person does not change? How can you utilize the challenge as a tool to help propel you further in increasing in your patience so that you grow from the situation and instead of being held back. Visualize these things, see it, write the vision, and then make it plain, all right? And as you're writing and journaling, remember this is in no way to condemn you. This is all to assist and help. So don't feel like you have to hide anything from yourself. Be truthful with yourself. Enjoy your journaling, and we will see you on the next workshop day, which again will be Monday as we begin on week 2. All right. Monday, we will begin on week 2 as well as characteristic 6. All right, everyone, have a blessed Shabbat tomorrow, because this is a Friday in which we're doing this particular workshop. So everyone, remember the Sabbath and make sure that you keep it holy. Study some scriptures. All right. Study some scriptures, get into the word, do some acts of charity, kindness, love. All right. Get togetherness. Each one teach one. Have a actually, we'll go ahead and make sure that we close out in prayer. I was about to let you all off the call, but we're going to close out in prayer. All right. Oh, Most High Yahuwah, I thank you for the time in which you were able to bring us together for this time in advancement and learning and growth and increase in our knowledge. I pray, oh Most High Yahuwah, for every person who hears this workshop, who was on this particular call, as well as who hears this workshop in any capacity, Yahuwah. I pray that you help them to harden not their hearts or their minds, Yahuwah. Renew their minds, renew their hearts, and renew a right spirit within them, Yahuwah, so that they can gain the ability to be brought back into reconciliation with you if they currently are not, or so that they can be more divinely aligned into your will and your purpose and plans for their lives, Yahuwah. I thank you, O Most High Yah. Thank you for your protection. We are grateful to you and all that you do, Yahuwah. You are great and greatly to be praised. All of these things I pray to you, O Most High Yahuwah, in the name of the grace that you've perpetuated to us, which is Yahushua HaMashiach. So be it. Amen. Everyone, enjoy your day.